Most people think motorcycles are just a fun way to get around, but they come with hidden perks car drivers never see. From legal loopholes to real-world savings, make sure to watch till the very end. The last live hack will blow your mind. Number 7. Running red lights. Patience is one thing every rider needs, but there's a limit. Imagine sitting at a red light that never turns green, cars zooming by on either side, and your engine slowly heating up in the sun. It's not just frustrating, it's common. That's because many traffic light sensors are calibrated for the weight and magnetic signature of cars and trucks, not motorcycles. Riders often end up stuck at red lights indefinitely, waiting for a system that doesn't even know they're there. In states like South Carolina, there's finally a fix. Motorcyclists can legally proceed through a red light if it has clearly failed to recognize their presence after a safe and reasonable wait. It's a legal gray area in some places, but in others, it's codified into law. This unique rule exists to correct a basic infrastructure flaw. Cars trigger underground loop sensors easily due to their size and metal mass. Most motorcycles, by comparison, simply don't carry enough bulk to set off the system. Riders try tricks, rolling back and forth, moving over the sensor, but it often doesn't work. In some cases, they wait minutes hoping a car pulls up behind to trip the system for them. But when that doesn't happen, this law gives them the freedom to move on, if the intersection is clear and they've waited long enough. It's important to note this isn't about riders blowing through intersections at will. The law, sometimes called a dead red law, requires that the motorcyclist treat the red light like a stop sign. That means coming to a full stop, checking for cross traffic, and proceeding only when it's absolutely safe. It's not permission to gamble. It's a practical solution to a real-world problem. Different states handle this in different ways. South Carolina, for example, allows a rider to proceed after 2 minutes if the signal hasn't changed. Other states like Minnesota and Tennessee have similar laws with slight variations in wait times and conditions. Some only apply the rule to certain intersections, and in most cases, the law applies only to motorcycles and bicycles, not to cars or trucks. That distinction reflects how the law respects the differences in vehicle design, and it's a rare moment where motorcycles get an edge over their four-wheeled counterparts. That legal advantage doesn't just save time, it can reduce risk. Sitting stationary at an intersection, especially at night, exposes a rider to danger. Distracted drivers approaching from behind often fail to see a bike until it's too late. Allowing a rider to proceed safely reduces their exposure and keeps the traffic flowing for everyone. Yet many riders don't even know this law exists in their state. They sit, idle, fuming, unaware that the law may already be on their side. Others may know about the rule but hesitate, fearing that officers or other drivers will assume they're acting illegally. The truth is, these laws are made to support safer, smarter riding. But awareness is everything. Even more surprising, some officers don't know the specifics either. It's always smart to review your state's Department of Transportation website or legal code to carry proof of the statute if questioned. A laminated printout in your saddlebag can save you a citation or at least open a respectful conversation if you're ever pulled over. If you're enjoying these insights, make sure to hit like, comment with your favorite secret, and subscribe for more exclusive rider knowledge you won't find anywhere else. Now let's talk about a riding move that makes city traffic bearable and some car drivers furious. Number 6. Lane splitting, where it's legal. There are few things more frustrating for riders than being stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic, boxed in by distracted drivers tapping their phones and riding their brakes. For motorcyclists, the difference between a safe ride home and a rear-end collision can be measured in inches. That's why lane splitting, though often controversial, is more than just a convenience. In the state of California, it is legal for motorcyclists to ride between lanes of traffic under specific conditions, making it one of the most significant legal advantages available to riders today. According to state regulations, lane splitting is permitted when traffic is moving slowly or stopped entirely, and when the rider's speed does not exceed the flow of traffic by more than 15 miles per hour. While there is no federally mandated lane-splitting law, California remains the only state as of 2025 where the practice is officially sanctioned. Riders are expected to pass cautiously and avoid weaving or excessive speed. Studies from transportation safety agencies suggest that when done within these limits, lane splitting can actually reduce the likelihood of rear-end accidents, a major cause of motorcycle fatalities in urban environments. For older riders, especially those commuting or navigating congested highways, this legal tactic is about more than beating traffic. It provides a controlled escape route from multi-car pileups, late-braking sedans, and inattentive SUV drivers. The size and agility of a motorcycle make it uniquely suited to slip through gridlock, and when practiced responsibly, it transforms rush hour from a safety hazard into a navigable challenge. Still, even in California, misunderstandings persist. Some drivers believe riders are cutting the line or behaving recklessly. That misconception can lead to dangerous behavior, such as intentionally blocking a motorcyclist's path. But legal precedents and official guidelines in the state reinforce the right of motorcyclists to lane split when conditions allow. Law enforcement typically supports the practice when it's done within speed and space limitations, especially on multi-lane highways where stopped traffic poses a known risk. Elsewhere, other states are actively considering legislation to make lane splitting legal or to introduce pilot programs. Utah and Arizona, for example, have adopted limited versions of the practice, sometimes referred to as lane filtering, that allow riders to move between stopped vehicles at red lights under controlled conditions. While the terminology and rules vary, the spirit of the law remains the same. Prevent motorcycle injuries by removing them from vulnerable positions during low-speed congestion. It's worth noting that lane splitting is not without its risks. A poorly executed maneuver between two oversized trucks or a sudden lane change by a distracted driver can end disastrously. But these dangers are already present in heavy traffic. The legal framework for lane splitting simply offers experienced riders a safer alternative to waiting in line while surrounded by inattentive drivers. For longtime motorcyclists, especially those over the age of 50, adapting to lane splitting may take a shift in mindset. It requires confidence, spatial awareness, and a healthy respect for speed differential. But those who incorporate it into their riding toolkit often find it enhances both safety and enjoyment, reducing time spent in traffic and minimizing unnecessary exposure to stop-and-go chaos. All the gear we recommend is linked below. These are tried, tested, and ready for real riders who take the road seriously. Speaking of moving through traffic, what if you could use the fastest lane on the freeway even when you're riding alone? Number 5. Free access to HOV lanes. Every driver stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic has glanced over at the high-occupancy vehicle lane and wished they had a passenger. For most cars, that privilege comes with requirements: 2 or more occupants, sometimes even 3 during peak hours. But riders on 2 wheels, they get the green light solo, no questions asked. In most states across the country, motorcycles are legally permitted to use high-occupancy vehicle lanes regardless of passenger count. This isn't a loophole or a technicality. It's a deliberate decision made by transportation departments to ease congestion and promote efficiency. The reason behind it is simple. Motorcycles take up far less space than cars, move more fluidly through traffic, and emit less pollution. Their overall impact on road congestion is minimal compared to multi-ton trucks and commuter sedans. Lawmakers and engineers know that by allowing motorcycles into the high-occupancy vehicle lanes, they're not sacrificing safety. They're enhancing the entire system's flow. A single rider can benefit from cleaner, faster traffic movement without interfering with carpooling or bus traffic. In many cases, motorcycles riding in these lanes even reduce delays for everyone else by removing themselves from the crowded main lanes. What makes this deal even more valuable is how often it goes underutilized. Many riders don't realize they have this privilege or are unsure if it applies in their state. But in places like Texas, Virginia, Arizona, and Washington, the rule is crystal clear. Motorcycles are welcome. They don't need transponders, special permits, or toll tags in designated high-occupancy vehicle lanes. They just need to obey posted speed limits and follow safe lane behavior. It's a commuter advantage that doesn't cost a dime and doesn't require any special modifications or paperwork. From a safety standpoint, the ability to access these lanes is more than just a time saver. It's a lifesaver. In heavy traffic, the risk of rear-end collisions goes up, especially when distracted drivers are glancing at their phones instead of watching the brake lights ahead. Riders weaving through stop-and-go congestion in the main lanes often have to deal with drivers who don't see them, or worse, actively crowd them. But in a high-occupancy vehicle lane, there's usually more space, fewer sudden stops, and better overall flow. It's not just about shaving 10 minutes off your commute, it's about riding with fewer threats. The added benefit is that high-occupancy vehicle lanes tend to be better maintained. Because they're designated for higher priority traffic, like buses and emergency vehicles, they're repaved more often and less prone to potholes. For riders who are constantly scanning for road hazards, that's a hidden bonus that helps preserve tires, suspension, and peace of mind. Combine that with reduced exposure to tailgaters, fewer sudden merges, and smoother transitions between interchanges, and the high-occupancy vehicle lane starts to feel like it was designed for motorcycles in the first place. This access is so valuable that riders in states where it's not allowed have lobbied for years to gain the same right. Even in jurisdictions where motorcycles are not currently permitted, pilot programs and legislative proposals are popping up more frequently. The evidence is clear. Allowing two wheels into those faster lanes helps everyone. It's not favoritism, it's functional. Yet somehow, even many experienced riders don't take advantage of it, stuck in the old habit of riding with the flow of traffic instead of beside it. And if you think skipping traffic is sweet, wait until you hear how motorcycles deal with toll booths. Number 4. Discounted or free toll road access. Most riders do not choose two wheels just for looks, they do it for freedom. Less traffic, less fuel, and sometimes fewer fees. What many drivers do not realize is that motorcycles often glide through toll booths with lighter tolls or none at all, depending on the state. While cars and trucks rack up costs on long road trips, riders with a little knowledge can save serious money over time. Motorcycles pay less because they take up less space, cause less road damage, and generally move traffic along more efficiently. These rules are not always advertised, but they are out there for those who know where to look. In states like North Carolina, motorcycles are allowed to use I-77 express lanes without paying tolls in many zones. In New York, several bridge and tunnel crossings offer motorcycle-specific rates that are often half what a car would pay. Some states charge tolls based on axle count, so two-wheeled machines come in cheaper by default. There are also examples from Michigan where toll bridges, not roads, are the rule, and motorcycles sometimes ride free depending on the crossing. Colorado and Florida have varied policies, but in select stretches, motorcycles either get reduced rates or are allowed to bypass certain toll plazas altogether. And in Tennessee, while toll roads are rare, the idea that motorcyclists help preserve road conditions has long kept them out of the fee equation. It is all about the numbers. Less weight means less wear. A typical cruiser or touring motorcycle weighs between 500 and 900 pounds, while passenger cars average over 3,000 pounds. Trucks multiply that figure several times over. That difference translates directly to how much a vehicle stresses pavement over time. Departments of transportation know this, and in many cases they account for it in toll formulas. It is one of the few areas where being lighter, smaller, and more efficient actually earns you a break. The benefits are more than just financial. Time savings also add up. Some states offer express lane access for motorcycles that allow riders to avoid congested toll booths entirely. With automatic transponders like EZ Pass or SunPass, motorcycles can zip through gantries without stopping or fumbling with change. This not only shortens the trip but also improves safety. Anytime a rider does not have to stop in fast-moving traffic, it reduces exposure to rear-end collisions. Of course, not every toll road is rider-friendly. Some states still lump motorcycles in with passenger vehicles when calculating fees. Others apply outdated toll schedules that overlook the differences in weight, environmental impact, and traffic flow efficiency. Riders should always check regional policies before assuming discounts, but in many areas the rules are on their side. Some cities even offer toll discounts as a seasonal incentive to get more drivers on two wheels and out of their cars during high congestion months. This isn't just about saving a few bucks at a toll booth, it's about maximizing the natural advantages motorcycles already offer. Lighter footprint, better fuel economy, and in this case, real savings that add up mile after mile. A regular commuter who crosses toll bridges or express lanes daily can save hundreds of dollars each year just by switching from four wheels to two. And it's not just about savings on the road, even the parking lot has a few hidden gifts. Number 3. Special motorcycle parking zones. Pulling into a packed parking lot can be a frustrating experience for anyone behind the wheel of a truck or car. But riders know something most drivers never think about. There are often hidden spaces just for them. Whether it is a small curbside slot, a corner of a municipal garage, or a marked-off spot in front of a storefront, motorcycles enjoy parking privileges that most drivers can only dream of. These advantages are not just convenience, they can change the entire experience of traveling by two wheels. Across the country, many cities have designated motorcycle-only parking spaces in high-demand areas. While these spaces are often overlooked by the average driver, seasoned riders know how valuable they really are. These spots are usually located close to entrances of public buildings, restaurants, event venues, or even shopping centers. Because motorcycles take up far less space, a single car spot can be converted into 2, 3, or even 4 motorcycle slots. Some of these areas are formally marked with signs or painted lines, others are unofficial but accepted, known mostly by locals or those who ride regularly. This edge becomes especially noticeable during events. Bike rallies, fairs, and concerts often attract heavy vehicle traffic, but motorcycles can glide through congestion and pull into premium spaces that would be impossible for cars to claim. For instance, during a typical Saturday afternoon downtown, a motorcyclist can find parking in seconds while drivers circle endlessly in frustration. It is a subtle, unadvertised advantage, but a powerful one. There is also a financial side to it. In many downtown zones, metered parking is enforced per vehicle size or by space occupancy. Some areas allow motorcycles to park without charge as long as they are not blocking pedestrian paths or violating curb laws. Others offer reduced meter rates or require only one permit among multiple parked motorcycles. And even when permits are required, they are often cheaper for motorcycles due to their lighter road impact and smaller footprint. Then there's the practical side. Fewer tickets. Motorcycles parked in compact or designated zones are less likely to attract citations, especially when local law enforcement understands the space constraints. Some riders even find legal gray areas to their advantage, parking in spaces between curb ramps, along building edges, or in alleys where their presence does not interfere with traffic flow. While it is important to follow posted regulations, experienced riders learn quickly which zones are respected and which ones are overlooked. But the value goes beyond legality and convenience. It's about security too. Parking closer to storefronts in sight of windows or security cameras helps reduce the chance of theft or vandalism. Unlike cars, motorcycles can be pushed away or lifted, so choosing a spot with better visibility is not just smart, it is essential. This is why so many businesses that cater to riders, including biker bars and outdoor markets, make sure to offer visible, designated motorcycle parking. It is worth noting, however, that this privilege comes with responsibility. Riders who abuse parking by blocking wheelchair access zones, parking across multiple lines, or squeezing into illegal spots give the entire riding community a bad name. The freedom to park in tight places is not a blank check. It is a courtesy that can be revoked by stricter enforcement if abused. But here's a deal no one really talks about. It's not a discount, it's a safety upgrade baked into how you ride. Number 2. Full lane use. With total freedom. Out on the open road, the difference between riding and driving goes far beyond handlebars and horsepower. One of the most overlooked advantages motorcycles have over cars is the full legal use of the entire lane. That means a rider can shift from the left tire track to the right, ride dead center, or move continuously within the lane and do it all without breaking a single law. This freedom is not just a luxury. It is a critical safety tool that most car drivers do not understand and too many riders forget to appreciate. Unlike a four-wheeled vehicle that is fixed in position and width, a motorcycle can move dynamically within its lane to adjust to road conditions. That adaptability is more than convenience. It's protection. Road debris, uneven pavement, oil slicks, potholes, and blind spots all threaten riders differently than drivers. A car might shrug off a stray nail or patch of gravel. On a motorcycle, those same hazards can send you sliding across the pavement. It is also a matter of visibility. A rider shifting position in a lane is often doing so to get a better view around traffic, to line up for a turn, or to become more visible in another driver's side mirror. When a rider moves within the lane, they are not weaving for attention. They are executing defensive riding. It may look like showmanship to an uninformed driver, but those slight movements can be the difference between getting clipped and being seen. Consider how a motorcycle handles a tight curve or a winding mountain road. Shifting to the outside of the lane before a turn, then drifting to the inside through the apex, and back out again is a method known as lane positioning. It is a precise technique used to maintain the best line of sight, optimal cornering geometry, and a smoother ride. A car cannot do that. Trucks definitely cannot. But motorcycles were built for it. In urban traffic, this freedom becomes even more critical. Moving to one side of the lane can help a rider avoid being boxed in, give them a better escape route, or avoid the dreaded blind spot of a distracted driver. At red lights, being positioned slightly to the left or right of a lane instead of directly in front of a car can also reduce the risk of being rear-ended. This kind of spatial awareness is baked into smart riding, and it is completely legal. It also extends to group riding. In a staggered formation, riders alternate sides of the lane to maintain safe distance and visibility. Each rider uses their portion of the lane as a personal safety zone. Cars do not share lanes like that, nor can they move freely within one to the same effect. This concept of dynamic lane control is part of what makes riding such a mentally active and strategic experience. It is not just about balance and throttle. It is about reading the road and using every inch of space available to you. There is another benefit here: fatigue management. A slight shift in lane position gives your body and eyes something new to focus on. That mental reset, even for a few seconds, can make a difference on long rides. Subtle adjustments in posture, line of sight, and lean angle keep you sharper, more aware, and more connected to the road beneath you. We've uncovered some seriously valuable perks in this video. If you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on more insider tips that can make your rides safer, smoother, and smarter. All these perks are great, but this last one isn't about traffic, money, or parking. It's about something far more powerful. Number 1. Experiencing the road like nothing else can. There is a moment that happens on every real ride, not when the engine first starts and not when you twist the throttle, but when the rest of the world fades away and the road becomes the only thing that matters. It is not about the bike you ride or how much chrome is bolted to the frame. It is about the experience that only motorcyclists know. Cars may shield you from the world, but a motorcycle puts you face to face with every curve, every gust of wind, and every breath of the open air. It starts when you drop into that first corner and lean into the bend. You feel it, not just in your hands or legs, but in your core. The road speaks to you. One moment the air is warm and dry, the next you dip into a shaded hollow and the temperature drops 10 degrees. That sensation isn't something you register on a dashboard. It runs across your skin, your jacket, and down your spine. There's no filter, no cushion. It's pure. When the sun rises over the ridge ahead and the road unwinds into a ribbon of blacktop, the silence between engine pulses tells you this is where you're meant to be. Every vibration, every bump, every sound, it all reminds you you're alive. And unlike in a car, nothing is muted. You smell the trees, you feel the storm before it hits. You know when a cold front is coming long before the forecast confirms it. Even simple roads become something more. You can't just go on autopilot and coast behind a steering wheel. You engage, you balance, You move with the bike, not just on it. Whether it's a mountain pass, a rolling prairie, or a two-lane stretch past cornfields, the experience is immersive. You are not a passenger in a machine. You are a part of it. The danger is real, but so is the reward. Rain doesn't just mean turning on wipers. It means slowing down, reading the surface, staying light on the controls. You don't hear about that in SUV commercials. But to riders, it's a badge of earned confidence. You're not just traveling, you're navigating, adapting, surviving, and enjoying every second of it. And when the ride ends and you climb off, it's not just about reaching your destination, it's about what happened along the way. The memory of every curve you mastered, the way the sun felt on your back halfway through the run, the way your heart picked up at that blind corner, and how you nailed it. You never forget a good ride, and the ones that test you, those stay with you forever. No car can offer that. No truck can deliver that connection. The open road belongs to the rider. The saddle is your seat to the world. The handlebars, your grip on the moment. This is not just freedom, it is clarity. It is confidence. It is what makes motorcycling more than just transportation. We've revealed some of the best-kept secrets in motorcycling, and now it's time for you to take full advantage of them. If you found this useful, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more game-changing riding tips.